Hello and welcome to the podcast on the Leo full moon. This Leo full moon is going to be electric. We have so much power and potency around what we kind of feel into around this Leo new moon. If you think of Leo, it's fiery, it's like stepping into my greatness and showing that to the world. It's drama, it's this whole beautiful creative force of who I am and how I'm going to show myself to the world. But in today's society, we kind of feel ourselves sometimes avoiding stepping into our greatness. We find ourselves kind of numbing out or lacking that force and willpower to kind of get ourselves going. And if you feel like this, you are not alone. We cannot live in this busy world and expect ourselves to keep up with the knowing, the energy within, that part of us that says you deserve to shine your light bright. And yet we feel like we're going to be judged by others, but that judgment actually comes from you judging yourselves. You see, we can often find ourselves sort of in dark moments, noticing ways we want to be ourselves, yet we're not able to fully let it come to life. And why is that? Why do we keep holding ourselves back? I want you to kind of feel into this Leo full moon like there might be some petty drama. There is some huge astrological impacts that are going on. And with the wheel of life, or with the astrology wheel, same cycle, different times, we have Aquarius, because we're in Aquarian season. So I'm just getting something. We are in Aquarian season. And we are opposite the Aquarian sign in the astrological wheel is Leo. So what we have is the sun in Aquarius, which is kind of like that intellect, and it likes to think about things, and it's all about kind of the greater good. And then we have Leo, and Leo wants to feel. Leo wants to fill its own cup first, and it's all about the heart. It's really all about coming into our own sense of self. And in my full moon ritual live sacred circle this month, we're exploring the theme, I ignite my wild passion and access my inner gifts. I'm going to do that through some colouring in, because if you imagine yourself like a painting or a colouring in, and we somehow have been taught or trained to, colour in between the lines and make sure, we keep to the colours that everyone else is using and don't shine yourself so bright. But if we actually tapped into our instinct and our intuition about who we are and created this beautiful creative map, or this beautiful coloured piece of art that demonstrated and showed who we were, if we weren't holding back, what would yours look like? Mine, personally, I would not be colouring inside the lines. I'm riled, bit riled up right now. Must have been that chai I had this morning. I am wild and I'm really raw, and I am an Aquarian, so I am often in my mind, and I'm like, my Aquarius is conjunct Venus, and Venus in my chart and Aquarius in the 11th house, in this expression of the greatest good, in this whole doing of what I do, in this supporting women to, let go of their conditioning and come into their core. This full moon, not new moon, this full moon is all about that. If we were not defined by what our caregivers or society, our religion, our country of origin, anything like that, if we weren't defined by what others have told us we are, who would we actually be? So we can do this through, some art therapy, through some dance and movement. And when I say Leo is about this creative light, it is about being able to dance your way, sing your way, be expressive in any way that feels right for you. That might be in swimming, that might be in running, that might be in, picking up a paintbrush, it might be in creating some poetry. But in and of ourselves, who are you without that glass ceiling that your world has created for you of what you're capable of? There was a saying, or there is a saying that says, shoot for the stars. I call BS on that. I say shoot past the stars. bust through that glass ceiling and get yourself into a space where you know and own your potential. You shine your light bright, and in shining your light bright, you get to truly align with who you are trying to be. So imagine a bird, that felt like it couldn't sing its song, or it couldn't flap its feathers because its feathers were too beautiful or its song was too loud. What if that bird held itself back because of that, because it didn't feel worthy of using its gifts, of its singing, or its, beautiful feathers, or even its fast flying? If we hold ourselves back, we are doing not only a disservice to ourselves, but we are doing a disservice to humanity, because your sacred thread, your unique and beautiful expression of who you are, your freak flag, what makes you different, and the gifts that you came into this world to share, this is so important in this life, whether that be the next prime minister of a country, whether that be a mother learning to be present, whether that be, myself, a spiritual teacher and coach supporting women to live from their core instead of their conditioning. It's about mindset. It's about moving with the energy that is around us so that we can open to the portal of who we are, instead of feeling like we're trapped and caged in this belief that we are what everyone else thinks we are. You deserve to be bright. You deserve to know that by flying your freak flag and, calling on this Leo energy of creation, of your solar plexus of fire, you can become magnetic. And this full moons are illumination, manifestation. What is it in your life that's bringing itself to the forefront to show you? There are some astrological aspects or relationships over this full moon period, which happens, I think it's 5:28 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time on Monday the 6th of February. But I'm feeling it already. It's like this bell curve. It starts to come up, but it peaks at that time and then it peters off. It's not like it just happens at that time and then you're done. I'm feeling this energy rise, and I'm really feeling into who am I? What is holding me back? And how can I truly, given this human body and the experiences I have had within my life, how can I use all of that to step into my greatness, to step into my fullness? You see, this whole beautiful aspects, there's like, I think it's Mercury. I'm just looking at my chart over here. Mercury is conjunct Pluto. So be wary of a little bit of drama around this full moon also. So it might be like petty stuff. Saturn's just moved into Aquarius, but Aquarius and Leo, the sun and the moon right now in Aquarius and Leo are sitting at 16 degrees. And Saturn, I think, is only around 1 degree. So it's not creating this do or die situational energy. It's creating this, Saturn is that part of us that is our, I want to say grandfather's the word that's coming up. That's not a word I've ever used to describe Saturn, but it's that kind of authority. It's the goal setting. It's the structure. He's the one that, it's the masculine of, being in our own self, but having structure around it. And it can be very authoritarian. However, in this Saturn, it's a good arc away. It's about, let me have a quick look. Saturn is, I don't believe that. Saturn's in Aquarius at the moment, and I don't know exactly where it is because I don't believe that. Because I don't know why I don't believe that. That's okay. I was just looking at my chart, and I know Saturn's only just moved Oh no, Saturn is in Aquarius, that's right, and it's moving into Pisces very, very soon. And Saturn, so it's a 10-degree arc away, which means, they know each other, they're associates, they're not in really deep communication. So it's not going to be this kind of, there is a disruptor energy, and it's almost like if you went to a party and you were really aware of this energy and you felt like you could sit back and actually watch what was going on, it could be quite entertaining, because it's sort of like a drama that's going to come up, and then a couple of days later you're going to feel like, oh, okay, that's all right. I'm feeling this energy too. It's my birthday tomorrow. I'm turning 45. If you want to pop happy birthday in the comments, I would love that. I love birthdays, and this energy for me is very much about, I had my birthday, my celebration last week, because I knew this full moon was coming, and I wanted to be in my energy during this full moon so that I could shower myself with love, which is very Leo. And I wanted to pamper myself in ways that didn't really have a lot of one-on-one interactions, so that I didn't step into that drama and disruptor and bickering kind of energy. Because Pluto and Mercury, so Pluto, the kind of great disruptor, the god of the underworld, and Mercury, which is our communication, they're conjunct. So it's kind of like, be careful of people being quite short and sharp with their communication over this full moon as well. So during this full moon, I kind of really invite you to let your self-expression of creativity come forward. Dance, play, craft, paint, sing, do whatever it is that allows you to bring your Leo energy into balance. Because, if we think of Leo, it's a lion, it's great power, it's almost royalty. And, this, I feel like a big actress on stage. And when this great power, this solar plexus energy, your inner sun, when this is flowing and we're not using it in a way of helping ourselves move with this expression, we can feel ourselves get really overwhelmed. And when we get overwhelmed, it's like this energy dissipates in all of these different directions. We're not sure how to harness it and bring it in. And then that energy loses its magnetism and its ability to manifest. So if you would like a copy of a new moon ritual to perform this full moon ritual to perform this full moon, there'll be a link below for you to download your own copy of what we will be going through in our live full moon circle, which is also happening on Friday at 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, which is, I think it's 6 p.m. Pacific, and that will be Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific. But there'll be a link below as well. And because it's my birthday, this is the first gift I'm giving to my listeners, to my email list, to my followers. And over the next couple of weeks, I'll be giving away a lot. So I'm going to also pop down a link below for you to jump in to my email list, make your inbox happy with some really cool rituals and giveaways. And over this next couple of weeks, I'm really going to be milking all of these beautiful things that I've created over the last 20 plus years of being a soul practitioner for women's health and, moving with the moon. I'm going to be giving all of these away. And at the end of all of this giveaway, I'm going to be launching the next round of Awaken, which is, it is the program. It's where we rise into our most sacred self. And I have to talk about that a little bit here with this Leo full moon, because this Leo full moon, this program, this 8-week modules online, moving through your 7 chakras. You get 12 weeks access to sit in Sacred Circle every single week. And this allows us to be our true and authentic selves in a healed sisterhood in the circle of shaman, which means that we get to show up and practice coloring outside the lines, of becoming who we know we can be in Sacred Circle, so we can take that out into our lives. Because the healing, the integration, the work that we do in ourselves means nothing unless we can integrate that into our lives around us. So this is what I'll be doing over the next few weeks. And with this full moon, I'm kind of using this energy to push it out of myself and to birth this creative fire that I have in my own space so that I don't get into bickering arguments. Just checking my notes for a second. We've also got Uranus squaring this full moon. So think of that this is the disruptor, this is the change. And if something, you might find that you kind of get this download, this drop in, go, something just changes, something might go, yes, oh my God, I've done it. But don't forget that this is like it's a moment in time where something of that you're birthing may come to manifest, but there's still more work to be done. Make sure that whatever change really feels like it needs to happen, sit on it until at least the next new moon, which I think is February the 20th. And that new moon in Pisces is going to be beautiful. And we're going to be deepening into really, really setting some deep spiritual self-development intentions in that new moon. So if you want to become part of Lunar Woman, which is a monthly membership, and again, I'm giving 30-day free membership away only for the next 2 weeks because it's my birthday. And if you're listening to this after that time, then ultimately it's only 27 Australian a month. And in that membership, what you get is a new and full moon ritual to download and do on your own. You get access to a live sacred women's circle every single full moon where we go through the ritual together, where you get to sit in sacred circle with other women, connect, and be seen, heard, and held. And we also have each month, there's a new bonus that comes in. At the moment, you've got bonuses around journal prompts to go through your 8 phases of the moon. You've got activations that go through the 8 phases of the moon. And you also have a hormonal activation, which allows you to align your life with the movement of the moon. Even if you're not bleeding anymore, you move with the moon. So you would be coming into your ovulation phase. Currently, I am coming into my premenstrual phase. So I'm on the descent and I'm feeling like I want to take that retreat time and I want to take that time for me. But at the same time, there's this outward pour. So this directional pull for me between the two is really beautiful because I'm going into my own creative force. I still have the energy enough to dance and move and to write and to color myself in. But I also have this deep creative inner force that's coming inward, that descent into self. And so if you want to know more about the phases of the moon, there is a podcast that was earlier on in last season. This is season 2, 2023. So this full moon, my suggestion would be to shower yourself with love. Be careful of any relationship power struggles and to really open yourself up to asking yourself the question, who am I? What are my gifts? And how can I truly feel into and express my wild passion? Because if I ask myself that question and I hadn't done the work and it's just that the program, the conditioned response would be, tomorrow, I turned 45, I'm female, I'm a mother, I'm a coach, I live in Warrnambool in Victoria, Australia. There's all these labels. But beyond the labels, who are you? Beyond that, what's the passion? What's the life inside you that wants to open itself up and express itself outwards? This is also Lammas. The time of Lammas is happening on Saturday here, the 4th of February, at about 1:28 p.m, I think it is, where it's exactly between the summer solstice and the autumn equinox, and it's the first harvest festival. This Lammas energy is, what have I cultivated? What seeds have I planted in my life? And what am I harvesting? Even in our gardens, if you're here in the Southern Hemisphere, it will be, is my garden withered and dry already, or is it producing fruit? Are the fruit ready to pick? Have I tended to myself, the garden of who I am? Have I tended to the garden of life? And if so, what am I harvesting? If not, what is showing up potentially withered and in need of affection and warmth and love and attention? These are really beautiful times to drop all the astrology jargon and feel into who you are within. It's to feel into this energy of who you came into this life to be, to fly your freak flag, be your unique and individual self, and to really start looking at the frame through which you see the world, which is your conditioning. Let's knock down that frame. Let's take off the rose-colored glasses and start looking at the world from a completely different perspective, a perspective that says, who am I? If I was to answer that question, I am wild, I am raw, I am so alive within myself. And through that, I don't need any labels. So this Leo full moon, let go of the labels, color outside the lines, create this beautiful piece of art through dance, song, poetry, painting, whatever it might be. Express yourself and be careful of the drama. And I will see you when I see you, where I see you. Mwah! Happy full moon, sisters. Kidding me?